This is Trish Griffin here to talk to you today about your finances, budget, spending plans, all of those questions that you have dealing with collection agencies, dealing with your credit. Yes, I am here to answer those questions, and I've got counselors standing by at familycredit.org, or you can call 800-994-3328. I need you to use this as a resource because a lot of times you're going through your finances, you're going through problems and issues, and you don't know who to talk to or what to believe. You can reach out to a certified counselor, 800-994-3328, and get the correct information, get some advice that will help you, and just talk to a credit counselor and get some reassurance about your own situation, because guess what? Everyone's situation is totally unique to them. My situation is different from yours. And so, but at the same time, we don't like to talk about finances a lot. And so that's the purpose of this show, just to talk to you about whatever problems you may be having with finances. Now, today, I've been hearing so much. I've gotten a lot of questions recently about what and what not to do with credit. So guess what? We are busting those credit myths today. And yes, our goal today is to talk about all of those things that people may say that aren't really true or make you think, does it really work like that? Yeah, we're going to go through some of those one at a time. So if you've got any other questions, again, reach out to familycredit.org or 800-994-3328, because those counselors are there for a reason. Also available, some great resources. Yes, Personal Finance Made Easy, great book on finances. And yes, there is also My Spending Plan, another great avenue for you to get your finances together. Again, talking about those credit myths. And the first thing that I've had someone ask me or say is, if I have one credit card, that's all I need to get a credit score, right? Weird question. So if you only have one credit card, you do need to work on getting a little bit more. Yes, you could have one credit card, handle that beautifully. Your credit portfolio won't be complete. Guess what? A lot of banks want to see that you can handle different things, not just one credit card. So if you have one credit card, but then maybe you have student loans, an auto loan, or a home loan, you want to have a nice mix of credit so that your score and your portfolio stays strong. Next myth that I hear: I can't fix my credit because it's just bad. It's just bad. It's not even worth fixing. You can be farther from the truth with that type of attitude towards your credit. And yes, credit is about your attitude. You want to have the right mindset when you're thinking about your credit, because your score changes as your life changes. So if you're thinking that your credit is bad and there's nothing you can do about it, I need you to think again. Your score only looks at the last 24 months worth of history. And you may say, well, what does that mean exactly? What does that mean to me? When I'm telling you that your score only looks at the last 24 months worth of history, yes, you see your whole report. You have everything listed there. But even though those things have been there for years, you can have repossessions, you can have charged off accounts over the past few years, your score is looking at what you've done in the last 2. So yes, that bad information can still be there, but you can get enough positives to counteract the negatives on there. And it only takes about 24 months or less to make things better for yourself. Another myth that I hear is, if I have a score of 700 or more, I don't really need to do anything. What you do need to do is keep your eye on your score. That's right. Monitor your report from time to time. Make sure that all the information is accurate and that it's being reported correctly for you, because a lot of times something can pop up there. You can get a hit with the collections. It may or may not be yours. Things change. Your credit limits could actually change too. And not only should you be watching your credit because it's there, but your creditors are looking at your score, your behavior, and your history, not just for the account that they've given you, but the other accounts that you have from other banks. Crazy, right? I know. But you really do need to think about it. They're watching what you do on other accounts. And if you mess up on other accounts, guess what? They may change the terms on your accounts with them. So you want to make sure that you keep everything looking good, looking stellar. And another thing is that a lot of people may think is there's only one credit report. I only need to look at one credit report because that's all that matters. There's so many different types of credit reports, so many different credit reports and scores. But here we use three main credit bureaus. They are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Each credit bureau, yes, they keep track of your habits, your spending, they keep track of your account history, but it's three different bureaus that you do need to pay attention to. So if you go out and you're just looking at one report, or you think you're looking at one report all the time, you want to look at the others as well. Go to annualcreditreport.com. That website is the one website that you can use to get your credit report, to get all of your information, and to make sure you keep everything up to date. Now, the credit reports themselves should be free to you. You may have to pay for the scores, and it shouldn't be too much for you, but you want to make sure you're getting them directly from the credit bureaus. Which be my next myth that I've heard is that my credit score on Credit Karma or Credit Sesame, or that I get from my credit card companies, is the one that I need to pay attention to. That's the score that everyone sees. Now, with that, there's a lot of different tools out nowadays for you to actually get your credit score. And with those tools, you have to be careful, because a lot of those tools, they come from what's called a reseller, meaning they're not directly from the credit bureaus themselves, which means that if you're looking at your credit, yes, those tools, Credit Sesame, Credit Karma, looking at some of the other tools that are out, the scores directly from your credit card companies, those scores are not the ones that are directly from the credit bureaus, meaning that they could be outdated. They may have not been updated yet, and they have to purchase that information from the credit bureaus. And sometimes when they get that information, it's not the most accurate or the most recent. So those tools are there to give you an idea of what your credit is, but don't take it for the full and true score as it is right now. The best place that you can get that score from is directly from the credit bureaus themselves, which are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, which means use annualcreditreport.com, because that's the one place that you can get all three scores, all three reports, and you can get one report from each bureau once a year for free without paying anything for it. Another myth that I hear is, I already know my credit score, so I don't even need to look at my credit report. Again, you do need to keep an eye on your report and your score. Even though the credit score is separate from the credit report, they work together. So if something changes on your credit report, it could affect your credit score. And think about that. You want to make sure that your name is correct. Your identifying information is correct on there. You have the most recent address reporting on your credit bureau report. You want to make sure that you know if anything closes on your credit report. You want to keep account of those open accounts, closed accounts, collections, all of that. The best way for you to do that is to look at your report from time to time. Plan throughout the year times where you will go in and look at your credit report and your score, and not just even base it off of what you're seeing on the tools that are out there from your credit card companies or from Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. Keep an eye on your actual scores directly from your credit bureau, on your actual reports, and go through your report. Make sure all that information is correct. I see so many people that haven't really paid attention to the actual report. So when you go and you apply for something, there may be something reported there that you don't even know about, something that's not yours. So it is very important. And it's been reported that there's a large percentage of errors that are on the actual reports themselves. So if you never look, you never know. And you don't want, the last thing you want is for someone to turn you down for credit because you didn't know what was really on your actual credit report. So definitely you want to get that a look and a glance throughout the year. Another myth that I'm hearing is that with my credit report and my credit score, dealing with my credit card companies, I can close an account whenever I feel like it because maybe I don't like the creditor or something and it doesn't affect me. This one is something that you want to be serious about, pay attention to. If at any point in time you close an account, it does affect your score. Now, it could have a positive impact, but a lot of times we see that it has a derogatory or a negative impact because what happens is every time you close an account, that history goes along with it. And a huge part of your score is how your payments are made, making your payments on time, making sure all of that is reported correctly each and every single month. So that does affect your credit score and your credit report. When you close an account, that's what happens. That information is gone. So now you need to make sure that if you do need to close an account, that you have enough positives to counteract the negatives that are being felt by you doing that. Another myth that I hear is if I close an account, then I'm done with it. I don't have to talk to that creditor anymore or anything like that. That's a common misconception as well, because when you close out an account on your own, you still are responsible to make payments on it. Closing an account does not make the balances go away. And there are some people that feel that because I closed an account, then I shouldn't have anything to do with them. No. When you close an account, what you are essentially saying to your creditor is that I do not want to use this account any further. I don't want to make any purchases. I don't want to be able to use it at the store. I'm closing the account so that I cannot use it. But that does not mean that you don't owe them. That's right. You still owe that debt. So I've had people that have closed an account, and then what happens is that account will charge off if you do not pay on it, and it's going to affect your score negatively. So yes, you want to make sure that if you have an account that you close, you still pay that debt down to a zero balance. Also, if you really do intend to close an account and you pay the account off to a zero balance, you want to make sure that your creditor has recorded that that balance is zero, the account is closed, and you will not be using it. Because if you pay that account off to a zero balance, I have seen instances where people think that they're making their final payment, but guess what? You got charged a finance charge. You didn't know about it, and now your account is past due. Even though you paid it down to a zero balance, you had a small balance remaining of maybe like $1, which caused you to get a $35 late fee now. So you want to make sure that if this is something you're going to do, you do it in the right manner, and you make sure that you have documentation that the account was closed, it shows a zero balance, and you've got something for your records. Again, that history goes away, so you won't be able to use that to strengthen your score anymore. Another myth that I'm hearing is that I can close an account right now, and then I'll just open it up later when I need it. That's also another misconception, because when you close a credit card account, you cannot reopen that same account back up. What happens is if you close an account and you want to use that account again, that creditor most likely will need for you to do a new application for credit. They won't be able to open up that same card or give you that same account number. They take a whole nother application and base that application on where you are now. Not what you've done with them in the past, but how's your credit right now? How's your credit score? What's your income like? And these are things that they use to make the decision on whether they will extend or grant you credit again. So also keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you know what you have, what you're working with, and who you're dealing with too. So that's why it's important that we look at those things that are going around that people are saying that may or may not be true. Another misconception that we want to target is that I want to fix my credit, so I'm just going to pay somebody else to do it. I'm just going to do credit repair. Now, be careful of anything that offers to repair your credit for you and you're paying for it. Because when you think about it, with credit repair, there's so many different organizations that are out there that take advantage of your situation, and you looking for a quick and easy fix does nothing for your finances, because yes, you can be paying someone each and every single month, you're sending them monthly payments, and you are doing what's called credit repair. You're not working on paying off your debt. The key to being debt free and living debt free is to repay your debt and to do it in a sustainable manner that works with your budget. Again, Family Credit has counselors that are on standby and that can help you through that. If something seems like it's a quick fix, it's just going to be easy. You give them some money each and every single month and your credit report magically is fixed. It is not like that. Keeping your credit together takes dedication, it takes discipline, and it takes hard work from you. There is no quick and easy fix out there. Now, you can discipline yourself to manage it, working with a credit counselor, working alone, using the guides here that we continue to talk about. There are ways to do it, but be careful of those places that take advantage. So if you're looking at trying to find somebody to do it for you, you want to do your research on the agency, do your research on the place, look at the reviews, see how they've treated their customers. Don't just look for positive reviews, because yes, we do want those positives out there, but if there are any negatives, see what those people are saying and make that decision if this is right for you, if this is something that you should do. But guess what? There's so many different other ways that you can work with your credit and making things better on your own. Why do I say that? Because again, the credit score takes a look at the last 24 months worth of history, no matter what negatives that are there. Now, there's so many professionals that can help you, credit counselors that can help you, that are on standby, that work with creditors each and every single day, that can tell you, yes, this is what your creditor is going to do. We've had some experience with them. They typically like to help people out. These ones don't really have anything available, but let's look at your budget. So there are different ways that you can do that. You want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Don't go for the cheap and easy tricks thinking that it's a magic solution, because it's not. Getting out of debt takes time. That's another myth. People think that paying a little bit of money here, it'll happen like that. But guess what? You didn't get into debt overnight. And so you cannot expect to get out of debt overnight. Take this seriously. Looking at your credit reports, dealing with your creditors, and even if you need help dealing with collection agencies. Another myth that a lot of people still might fall victim to is dealing with those collection agencies. A collection agency told me that they were going to come to my house and have me arrested. Yes. There are a few agencies out there that are still doing things like that, but it's a myth, because why? There are no debtors' prisons. When you're dealing with your debt, there's resources out there, steps you can take to deal with it on your own, but you have the power and the right to be treated a certain way, a respectful way, and you have the power to say to your creditors, yes, I know I owe you, but with the way that I've been going, I can't afford to pay you right now. Let's find a workable arrangement with my budget and with what my resources are to pay this debt. And then there's some situations where we just don't have the money for it. And so a myth that I see people go through with is, if I don't have the money for it, I'm going to ignore this debt and it's going to go away. Ignoring the debt won't make it go away. It's still there, whether it's felt now or years from now. The goal is to work towards making your finances better, creating a debt-free living situation for you, modifying your behavior if need be, but getting the help that you need to deal with your creditors, to deal with the debt. And that is what we're looking to do. We want to make sure that you can deal with those creditors on your own, or with the help from a certified credit counselor if you do not want to deal with them and talk with them directly. Let's come up with a plan together so that you can make your money work for you. That's our goal here. We want to create debt-free living so that you're not stressed out dealing with your finances. Again, way to do that. If you need some help dealing with collection agencies, reach out to a certified counselor at 800-994-3328 to get a listing of your rights, to get those things that will work for clearing up your debt and that you can get out of debt, because you have the right to tell those creditors, hey, stop harassing me. I'm going to pay you. I have every intention on paying you, and this is how I'm going to do it. You've got to be specific, though, in what you're asking, and our counselors can help you with that, too. So our last myth that we really want to touch on, too, is just that making sure that you know your finances do matter, because I have so many people that say, again, I don't have the money. I can't pay. I don't know what to do. And if I ignore this debt, it'll go away. But you have that power and the right to deal with your creditors. There's resources available online, and you want to look at talking to someone about this. You can talk to a certified counselor. You can go to consumerfinance.gov to find out what your rights as a consumer are, and you can just get the help that you need out there. Again, we've got those resources that are available online, familycredit.org, 800-994-3328. You have the use of my spending plan, which is available online as well. You can pull these guys off, or you can reach out to Family Credit and get them to send them to you for free. Ask for some money savings tips and ideas, 100 small ways to save big. These are great ways, great tools that will help you, and go into that. Again, if you're struggling dealing with your finances or your creditors, that's the great way to start. And then last myth that I told you we were going to touch on is, I don't have credit, so I don't need it. Now, everyone will realize that at some point in time, you do need credit. You want to make sure you have credit established. If you feel that you need credit, you don't know where to start, let's start by talking to your financial provider. Look at your bank, your financial institution, and see what they have to offer. A lot of banks will offer secured credit cards or secured loans, which will help you because they report to the credit bureaus. Keep that in mind. Great thing for you to do. Ask your bank if they have any secured accounts. What you will do is take money to put down. Let's say you want a $200 spending limit. You take that $200, you give it to your bank as collateral. They will in turn give you a credit card with a regular interest rate and a monthly payment. And the cool part about that is that they are going to be reporting to the credit bureaus each and every single month. You can ask them which banks they report to. A lot of banks, once they see that you are making payments on time, you've made your payments on time for like 6 months to a year, what they'll do is they'll take that collateral that you put down and they'll give it back to you. And now you have a regular credit card. It is not secured. You use it just like you need to each and every single day. And because it's not a regular secured account anymore, that card the balance can even, the credit limit can be increased as you continue to positively use that account and use it in the right way. So we've talked about a few credit myths. We've talked about some tools to help you with your finances. Again, feel free to continue to follow along. Reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328 and just see if you can get the help that you need. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed, because there are resources available to help you, and you'll be able to live debt-free. Till next time, we'll see you soon. Continue to follow along, and we look forward to working with you or seeing you if you've got any questions. Again, you can reach out Family Credit, familycredit.org. Grab these tools out that are available for you and look at getting your credit report. Again, annualcreditreport.com is the best place for you to start. If you do not have access to annualcreditreport.com, or you get the report and you don't understand it, don't know how to go over it, that's what the counselors are there to assist you through that. So if you need any help, reach out to a counselor, 800-994-3328. Continue to follow along, and I will see you back soon. Keep those questions coming in. Take care.